Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into a recent event in the Middle East, the attacks by Yemen's Houthi rebels on American ships. This is a complex situation, so buckle up and let's break it down. Who are the Houthis? The Houthis, also known as Ansar Allah, are a complex group in Yemen with both religious and political identities. They follow a branch of Shia Islam known as Zaydism, and they've been involved in a long-running conflict with Yemen's government. The Houthis emerged in the early 2000s, led by Sayyid Hussein Badreddin al-Houthi. They initially focused on religious revivalism within Zaydi Islam, but soon became politically active. They clashed with the Yemeni government over issues like corruption, marginalization of Zaydis, and the central government's U.S. alliance. In 2011, during the Arab Spring, the Houthis joined the anti-government protests. The conflict escalated, and by 2014, the Houthis had seized control of the capital, Sana'a. This sparked the Yemeni civil war, a complex conflict that continues today. Why the attacks? There are two main reasons the Houthis targeted American ships. In February 2024, there was a flare-up in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Houthis, along with Iran, support the Palestinians. They claimed the attacks were a show of support for Palestine and a response to Israeli actions in Gaza. The U.S. has been involved in the Yemeni civil war, providing logistical and intelligence support to the Saudi-led coalition fighting the Houthis. The Houthis see this as U.S. aggression and have targeted American interests in retaliation. Houthi fighters fired a missile yesterday that caused limited damage to a U.S.-owned cargo vessel off the coast of Yemen, the U.S. military said. The missile attack came a day after the Iranian-backed Houthis tried to hit a U.S. Navy ship in the Red Sea. The Houthis, who say they are acting in solidarity with the Palestinians in Gaza, have launched 4 anti-ship cruise or ballistic missiles in 4 separate attacks since the U.S.-led strikes began last week. U.S. forces are bracing for much larger retaliatory attacks from the Houthi militants and are preparing a set of escalating responses, senior U.S. military officials said. The escalation has stirred fears that the Israel-Hamas war will spread further into the Middle East. On Sunday, a U.S. fighter jet also shot down a Houthi-fired cruise missile fired from Houthi areas and aimed at the U.S. destroyer USS Laboon. Earlier on Monday, the UK Maritime Trade Operations Agency reported an unidentified ship had fended off 2 small vessels seeking to board. In addition, on Monday, U.S. Central Command said that 2 hours before the strike on Gibraltar Eagle, a cruise missile fired from Houthi-controlled areas failed in flight and landed in the sea, causing no damage. Yemeni sources said residents had heard explosions close to the port of Hodeidah, implying the US and UK were continuing to mount operations in an attempt to snuff out the threat posed by Houthi missiles. Many of the strikes on Thursday night were aimed at Hodeidah. A leading member of Yemen's UN-recognized government urged the West to provide his forces with military equipment, training, and intelligence to help defeat the Houthis. The Aden-based Magen Aidarus al-Zubaydi, the deputy head of the 8-strong PLC, said the near 9-year attempt by the Saudis to defeat the Houthis showed air power was not enough. He claimed many Houthi missiles would be hidden underground and hard to detect. The UK ambassador to Yemen, Abda Sharif, on Sunday met with the PLC Prime Minister, Dr. Ma'in Abdul Mali, to discuss the future of the UN peace plan for Yemen and how to prevent the Houthi movement riding a popular wave of support by projecting itself as one of the few groups in the Middle East willing to show active solidarity with the Palestinians in Gaza. After a meeting in Aden on Monday, the PLC made a point of distancing itself from Israel, voicing Yemen's support for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people, most notably in resisting the Israeli occupation and establishing its independent, fully sovereign national state. The statement warned the Houthi militias of the consequences of continuing to exploit the oppression of the Palestinian people in order to achieve Iran's interests and its expansionist projects in the region. It said, Houthi actions only served to distract the world's attention away from the Israeli occupation's attacks and grave violations, in a way that served the continuation of the aggression